Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy whatever today is, Tuesday I think? No, Wednesday to everyone. Sorry about that, days are running together here. It is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialists. So, pretty busy day as usual in the shop here. So let's talk about what happened. Briefly though, I spent all day on this puppy and I'll come back to that. And Rafa mostly worked on that one, and he did a few other things on one of the Gias. But why don't we talk about this one first? Because we got some cool stuff to show you here. So this door here on this side is done now. So pretty much Rafa spent the day, excuse me, putting the vent window in, assembly in, which he had assembled previously. So it actually went in the door today, and then the scrapers. It's a whole process to put these things in. You got to put everything in the correct order. For those of you that haven't done it, it's I don't want to say it's a puzzle because it's very methodical, the order that you have to put things in, but there is a definite order to do things. And so those things all went in. And then at the end of the process, you get to put the door panel on. So that's kind of cool because other than the little escutcheon that goes around this, the trim plate, which looks like that, of course. Other than that and the window crank, this door is pretty much done. And I love the sound of a finely tuned Beetle door closing when everything's lined up just right. Such a good sound. I don't know. Guys, I am easily amused. Simple things make me happy, especially simple things that are Volkswagens. Anyway, so yeah, this door is done. That door, we haven't been able to finish it yet because, I'm going to walk over there. The owner of the car asked us to put a mirror on this side, and of course, as you can see, there was not a mirror on here to start with. If there was, there would be a hole here with a threaded insert in it. And so yeah, we're gonna add a mirror here. And on these later cars, unlike the earlier ones where they go on to the hinge pins, on these they actually go into, like I said, a hole here in the door. There's a threaded insert that goes in there. So that's not here. So a little bit hairy on a nicely painted car like this, but we basically have to drill a hole in the door here, and then we're going to have to find a nut of the correct size that will thread onto the mirror, which sort of like inserts into there, and get that all figured out. So yeah, that has to happen next, but that needs to happen first because once the vent window is in, of course, over here, and all the scrapers and the door panel, you can't do that. So that's got to happen first, as far as putting the hole in here, getting a nut of some sort back in there, and so on and so forth. And then and only then can this door be built out the rest of the way. So that's what's holding this side up, is this mirror right here. Let's go look at the other side real quick again. So anyway, yeah, you can see how this goes on. So again, on the base of the mirror here, there's a threaded post that goes into the door. And then again, there's basically like a nut welded on the inside of the door. That side doesn't have any of that. So we're going to have to kind of figure that out. But anyway, yeah, so this door at least is done. The other thing that happened, which is going to make a lot of you guys happy, is this. And this car is going to be super nice, guys. And so the reproduction lenses that come from Wolfsburg West, they're like pretty nice, but they're not great. They're not as nice as the real deal here. And so for this car, we went ahead and bought real NOS ones, again from VW of Mexico. And they have a black trim on them. I think I mentioned that a lot of the Mexican Beetles did have black trim on them. This, of course, is a U.S. market car, and it was a special edition which had all this black trim. But a lot of the Mexican ones just had black trim on them. And so these NOS taillights from VW Mexico had the black surround on them here. technically speaking, from what I've seen from the literature for the 74 Love Bug, which is of course what this is, these appear to have been silver. And these are what the parts are that we had for this car, which we had installed on here before. But again, we really wanted to run the NOS lenses on here. But the bases were a bit different on these assemblies that came versus the assemblies that we had. So anyway, long story short, whole new assemblies, and the bases on them are black. So it actually looks better, even though strictly speaking it's not correct, because the silver ones that were on the other ones, and some of the viewers commented that they didn't look right, and we totally agree, but we're like, well, they were correct for this car, and they're the parts that we had with the car. But now that we've got these assemblies, again, not 100% correct, but it looks better, so we can live with that. Anyway, so yeah, these two NOS taillight assemblies went on today with their black surrounds on them, so it looks better. The silver looked fairly out of place. It was correct, but looked out of place. Anyway, so those are kind of the main things that happened on this guy today. As I mentioned, Rafa did a handful of things on the Orange Ghia, which is the 71. Removed, I think, the front hood hinges on it and the front hood hinge springs, just so, as far as like paint and body in that area, they weren't in the way. And it did some other little odds and ends on it. Nothing too exciting. So that was his day for the most part. My day was focused on this puppy here, which is, of course, a 65 Notchback. Started the day off by adding oil to the engine. I'd done the oil change yesterday with the exception of adding the oil, so that was sort of the last thing. Added oil to it. And then the owner had mentioned he wanted me to go through the brakes. So started off by simply checking the brake fluid reservoir, which is in the front where you'd expect it to be, and it did not have a drop of brake fluid in it. So that was the first thing that I encountered. So I went ahead and I added fluid to it, and then got the front of the car up, got at least initially, just the driver's side wheel off where I could see underneath there and see the hose coming from the reservoir and all the lines and stuff like that. I didn't see any signs of leaking at the master cylinder or the line feeding it or anything like that. So at least as far as up there, everything seemed to be good. This car does have disc brakes on both sides on the front. I inspected all the lines and hoses and stuff there. Didn't see any signs of leak. So I moved on to the back of the car, pulled off both drums, and started inspecting the wheel cylinders and brake hoses and lines in the back. And lo and behold, the driver's side wheel cylinder, when I peeled the boot back on one side of the cylinder, it was leaking. Didn't seem to be a really bad leak, but as far as I can tell, that would be the only reason I could see why the reservoir was empty, unless somebody put it on and never filled it. It's hard to say, so I don't totally know all the history of this car. But anyway, the cylinder on that side was leaking, so of course we never replaced just a single brake wheel cylinder. We replaced them in pairs, so both sides got new wheel cylinders. And then on this side, I made a new hard line, which is the one that goes from the wheel cylinder to basically the axle, and then from the axle it goes to a rubber hose because the axle needs to articulate, of course. So somebody had, I guess, made a new hardline for that, but they made it too short. And so they kind of had a zip tie in there. It's sort of hard to explain what was going on, and it probably wasn't really unsafe the way they had it. But it wasn't right. And so I made a new hard brake line for this side, which is the correct length, and went through the little tab where it should, and with a little clip and all that stuff, which was missing before, and had a zip tie in its place. So anyway, yeah, replaced both cylinders, made a new hard line for this side, and then Jacob and I went ahead and bled the brakes, and yeah, they feel good. The pedal has a really solid feel to it, so As far as I can tell, the brakes are good to go. And then later this afternoon, the new carburetors came in. So if you saw the episode yesterday, I think it was yesterday, you know that I was kind of struggling with the ICT carburetors or the MP knockoffs on here, getting some really weird behavior. And I went through the carburetors literally like a few times and just wasn't able to get the car to run right. And so at some point I told the owner, hey, there's something really weird with both your carburetors. Essentially I can keep monkeying around with them and maybe I can fix them. Or the other option is these carburetors are like $220 a piece. I said, we can just buy a new pair and swap them on there and that'll probably take care of the issue. So anyway, yeah, so thanks to AJ over at Low Bucket. He got these for me today and went ahead and put them on and swapped over all the parts because they came as basically like bare carburetors. So I had to swap on like the linkage bits and stuff like that off the existing ones. Got them on, got them, all bolted up and fuel lines, etc., connected, and fired this thing up and boom, running great. So again, I don't really know what's going on with those carburetors, but they were running terrible and trying to like puke all this gas into the motor, which was trying to flood it. And one of them had a accelerator pump that was just like continually dribbling while the car was running. Those carburetors, I think, might have literally been possessed. So took them out, put new ones in, boom. Runs good. And so, yeah, Jacob and I were kind of working on this together. And it's like, well, hey, it runs now, synchronize the carburetors. It's got brakes because we bled the brakes and went through them. And so we actually took this thing on a little spin. We did our initial little parking lot spin that you guys are probably familiar with who watch the channel, and everything felt pretty good. So I actually hopped on the street with it and went like literally about 2 blocks and then came back, and yeah, everything felt really good on this car. So yeah, it is actually a running and driving car now, which is pretty exciting. That was kind of the main purpose that the owner brought it in for, was for us to make it roadworthy. And it's pretty roadworthy. I mean, it runs now and it's got brakes. So kind of I see that as like the bare minimum of and it has steering, which it already had. So yeah, steering, brakes, and engine running, kind of the 3 main ingredients of a roadworthy-ish car, and it's got all those things. So yeah, took it for a little spin, felt great, and then kind of updated the owner, told him that, hey, here's the update on it, and the carburetors took care of that issue. And so yeah, he's asking me to maybe check out some of the lights now. We saw the brake lights weren't working. I'll maybe check those out. Headlights work, running lights work, turn signals don't seem to work. And so yeah, I may see if I can relatively easily fix a few of those things, and then pretty much he can take it back and start driving it and start having some fun with it. But yeah, that's the update on this one. It is went on its little maiden voyage today, so pretty exciting, pretty rewarding after having to go through the brakes and kind of struggling with those possessed carburetors and stuff. Pretty satisfying actually to take this thing for a little spin. The motor felt pretty strong, and car seemed to run and go down the road pretty nicely actually. So yeah, big accomplishment for today with this one. The yellow Ghia, Renee was just out there actually applying some primer to it, so moving right along. And the green Ghia is getting, I think, some final polishing done on it. So those are the updates for this one. I think yesterday I kind of promised or said I at least hoped to have the interior done on this one today. And as you see, that did not happen. So our upholstery guy came in a little bit late today, and I don't know, for one reason or another, wasn't able to finish these. So maybe tomorrow, guys. Keeping my fingers crossed, because I am super excited to see this car with its complete upholstery in it, because it is going to be drop dead gorgeous, worth the wait for sure. So yeah, tune in tomorrow, and hopefully I will be showing off the brand new interior and this beautiful black 56 oval window. So on that note, for today, that is it, guys. So thank you as always for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.